house. My colleague Pandit is out for there is official duty, trying to see to it that of course we compile all the other stories out there and bring them right here in the house. And a lot is happening. Yesterday my UPL team someone is going to say, what about Onduparaka? Okay, KCCA won, they beat their opponents. That is not beating, that is walloping. They walloped their opponent. Wachiso Giants. Do we have Wachiso Giants? Fans of Wachiso Giants in Arua? If they are there, don't come for my neck. Allow me witness the resurrection of Jesus. Today is a Good Friday. There is a lot that is actually happening out there. I would like to say you should really come through and share in the passion of Jesus Christ. Someone should be wondering, from sports someone is telling us about the passion of Jesus Christ. Yeah, outside sports, today is a Good Friday. By the way, Jesus of course died for our sins and saved the whole world. So way of the cross for there is Christians, both Protestants, Anglican, okay, and the Roman Catholics. There is a lot that is happening out there. If you're out there, you could be able to bear witness that the roads are so busy with a very huge number of Christians are trying to emulate the journey that Jesus Christ took from there is the Garden of Gethsemane to there is where he was put on the cross for our sins. And then tomorrow and then Sunday will be Easter, where he gets to resurrect after 3 days. Back to sports. I am not a preacher. This is not Sabiti. For the rest of the stories about what I just brought up, wait for Sabiti show with Fetus and his entire crew. Sabiti show, Sunday, 9 a.m. Here we are, 2 to 3. Locally, there is a lot, by the way. A big league post-primary ball games, they're actually coming to an end. Arua City already finished. Arua District closed. A lot. Koboko, that is supposed to be the host, is also seeing to it that they finalized. Yesterday, we brought to you a very direct information from there is a Koboko. We're able to connect to you right here in the studios and give you the information out there. And they are finalizing. We actually came up with something saying that they needed to be the first people to finish so that they prepare for so that they get to prepare to host, since they are the host district. By the way, this time around, regionals will be in Koboko. Remember last year they were in, I think, a Moyo or a Germany, something of that sort, where Arua SS went and represented well, collected the trophies and came back with. But this time around, they get to join Vara, who is the champions, and of course, Niva High, formerly Nile High, gets to also join them in some of course, the headlines are down there. And then also, Big League, Bet Power Big League returns tomorrow, bigger and better, where Onduparaka gets to host. There is the Chugezi Homeboys down here, Greenlight Upper Bet. Remember, the last 2 games Onduparaka has played, they lost one at home against the Blacks Power, where they were beaten 1-0 in the late minutes, where Maduka scored in a goal for there is a Blacks Power. And then they traveled to Mbale to take on Kataka in there is Male Municipal Grounds. Onduparaka was also beaten in there, very sadly. And they're trying to see to it that if they can make a huge comeback tomorrow, Saturday, there is a 4 p.m. at Greenlight Stadium, Bet Onduparaka, where Onduparaka will be hosting. They will be hosting Chugezi Homeboys that will be there in that very huge clash. We'll also discuss that as the minutes over the show keep rolling in. And then internationally, their games, by the way, their games, remember, I think for the past 2 weekends, there have not been English Premier League, simply because there has been an international break. A lot of players got home to represent their home countries, to see to it that they push in their home countries into there is the Euros in there. So basically that is that. This time around, English Premier League returns with one of the biggest. There is Arsenal. that will be playing a Manchester City clash of the Titans, a table clash in there. And today, in UPL locally here in Uganda, we'll also be having a table clash between, there is a Chitara and Bull. Remember, Chitara sits top of the table in, there is the Star Times Uganda Premier League, where they call themselves the Royals in Masindi. They will be hosting, there is a Bull Football Club. Bull has some sad news though. A few of their players, of course, want a future in right there. And for those of you that will be wondering, starting with now the local scenes, Koboko is finalizing in their post-primary ball games, like I had earlier on said. Initially, we saw Arua District. Arua District finished theirs with, of course, Oshindi beating in. There is Nile High Odia being the champions in there. I don't know what happened to the traditional schools, the Kufuras, the Vura-SS, even Nile High itself, and the rest of the schools, where they let the trophy go into the hands of Oshindi. But all in all, congratulations, Oshindi. This is now a recap. And then coming to Arua City, Arua City, we saw finals. We saw last year's history repeat itself, where Mvara SS first, of course, there is a Arua SS last year. Mvara lost to there is a Arua SS in penalties. This time around, Mvara refused penalties. They took Arua SS into class and he showered them 4 goals only. With, of course, one of the OBs of Arua SS also haunting his former OBs and OGs. So basically, that was that from Mvara, where we saw in the third playoffs, or if you like, you can call it the losers game, where we saw Town College that ejected St. Joseph's College Ombachi facing in. There is a Niva High, formerly Nile High, if you like. And in that game, we saw full time ended 0-0, and this game, of course, went into. There is a penalty shootout where Niva High beat, there is a Royal Town SS, Town College SS 3-2. And then Niva went into a third position and finished number 3, and then Town College finished in position number 4. But then in the regionals, remember, they always take the top 3. So Mvara goes through being the overall champions of Arua City post-primary ball games inter-school. Followed by there is Arua SS that will join them in Koboko to play. There is the regionals. Then thirdly, Nile High. Okay, Niva High will also join the 2 schools to represent there is to represent the regionals, that represent Arua City. But then in Koboko, in the table standings, you will get to see that there are a lot of schools that actually represent. This clearly was told to us yesterday. In Group A, we have Kochi, Padrombu, Ubora, and then Koboko Modern, where Kochi leads, of course, at the table there. And then in Group B, we have farms, we have Millennium College, we have Global Eden, and then we have Nyai in there, where Nyai and Global Eden sit rock bottom. And then in Group C, we have schools like Nyarilo, we have Koboko Public, Alpha, and then Ombachi Self-Help in that order, where Nyarilo sits at top of the table, and then Koboko Public is in position number 2, and then Alpha, and then Ombachi Self-Help. In Group D, we have Nyangelia SS that sits top of the table with 10 points, and then followed by Koboko Town College, sitting in position number 2 with 7 points, and then we have Daystar, Koboko Parents, and Longira in there. The quarter finals, of course, fixtures will be drawn. There is tomorrow. The quarterfinal fixtures are tomorrow, where we'll be seeing Kochi SS playing Millennium, and then Farms SS will be playing Padrombu, and then Nyarlo will play Koboko Town College in there. Some of the quarterfinals in the top stories, of course, that coming through from Koboko in there. Koboko this time around is going to be, of course, the host for the regionals in Arua, okay, West Nile, I should say. And then Crossing over to there is of the regional league. Remember, regional league and fourth league division games have of course been postponed. The only game that took place was the other time between Total and Odram Chaku down there. But then there is a lot that is ongoing. Teams are doing training. Leo already withdrew. By the way, they stopped honoring their fixtures. Finance related. We are yet to dive into the details and bring to you. And then Alpha Rising Stars, there is Leah, is basically doing trainings. And then Total teams in Yumbe are doing so well. They're in training. Matches, of course, the games have been pushed. And then teams in there is teams in a Nile zone. Teams in Nile Zone, yeah, there is teams in Koboko and Yumbe are doing quite so well to see to it that actually they are doing trainings. And then teams in Pakwachii and Greater Zombo region are also seeing to it that they are doing in a lot of trainings. By the Black Angels, Pakwachii Young Stars, Zeu Central and the rest, Nebi Central, Apaiva United, the rest of the teams the other side are equally also doing a lot of trainings, yeah. But on the table standings, you'll actually get to see that now Pakwachii Young Stars has leaped in front of there is Pai the Black Angels. Pai the Black Angels initially has been on top of that table, regional league Nyagaki zone, from the day one of the season of regional league up to somewhere when they only had a point gap of 2. There is with Pakwachii Young Stars. But then this time around, Pakwachii Young Stars, remember, has a game at hand. And the Black Angels, I think, also has a game at hand. For Pakwachii Young Stars, the game at hand they have is where they're supposed to play Zeu Central. But then that game was being postponed because Zeu Central has a lot of issues pending on there is hooliganism against the referees, something that has actually been there, something that is actually eating in up our beautiful game of the football. So basically that is that. Pakwachii Young Stars now is on top of the table, and remember they recently joined also Upper Jule United in there is going into there is the quarterfinals over Stanbic Cup, Stanbic Uganda Cup. Yeah, there are only 2 teams in the lower league division games that have joined in the Giants in that battle. Remember last season we equally also had a Germany. That was a German Town Council that was playing, of course, in Big League, that pushed through up to semi-finals, where we saw them being ejected, I think, by Express, yeah, down into the memory lane. So basically that is that. And Pakwachii qualified this time around by going to beat there is a Dove FC in Masindi. That game full time ended 1-1, and of course we saw them dive into draws. By the way, something very unique in Pakwachii Youngster is something about their goalkeeper. Very young, very energetic. That guy is good. He saves in a lot of penalties, and that's how Pakwachii Youngsters have been surviving when, of course, the game dives into penalties, yeah? And that's how they won and pushed through to the quarterfinals over. There is a Stanbic Cup. And remember, recently, Stanbic Cup, of course, went into also a holiday, I would say. So it is coming back. Some good news. Stanbic Uganda Cup 50th edition draws for quarter-finals will be conducted on Wednesday. Today is a Friday. These draws will be conducted on Wednesday, 3rd April 2024 at Fufa House Mango at 10 a.m. and they will be live on Fufa TV, by the way. So we are waiting to see, of course, which teams will be drawn against which teams. Remember, like Daliaron told you, in the lower league division, it's only Pojule United and Pakwachii Youngsters that are still representing. So we'll be following in some of these draws and bringing to you, of course, which teams are drawn against who and where, when Pakwachii, which team Pakwachii gets to play and all that. And on that aside, the table standings of course, the regional league, where I said Pakwachii sits at top of the table. This is Nyagaki zone. I'll bring to you for Nile zone, I think, tomorrow. Pakwachii Youngsters sits on top of the table with 39 points after playing there is 16 games. The Black Angels sits in position number 2 with 38, and then Nebi Central sits in position number 3 after playing 16 games, of course, with 30 points, and then Paidha United sits in position number 4 with, of course, 30 points also. Paidha United and Nebi Central have the same points. I think they are separated by a goal difference. Yeah, Nebi Central has 22 goals, whereas Paidha United has 20 goals. And then at number 5, we have a Kuluva Rainbow that comes from Kuluva Rainbow is in Arua district. It's not in Arua City. They sit in position number 5 with 21 points, and then Arua City sits in position number 6 with 19 points, and then Padea Rising Stars sits in position number 7 after playing 15 games and has accumulated up to 18 points to their names. And then we have Pakwachi Super Eagles that sits in position number 8 and has played 16 games and also acquired 16 points, meaning 1 point per game. I don't know, you can do that mathematics. In position number 9, we have Alpha Rising Stars. I feel like you can call them Leah. That sits in position number 9 after playing 16 games. They also have collected 16 points, 1 point per game. And then in position number 10, we have Pajob United that has played 15 games and accumulated 12 points. In position number 11, we have Nyahama that has played 16 games, accumulated 12 points, the same as Pajob United. And then in the last, we have Zeus Central with 15 games, 10 points. In the red zone, we have Alpha, Pajobi, Nyahama, and Zeus Central. So basically, if they don't work so hard, these are some of the teams, of course, that will be seeing ejected. But would you want your team to be ejected, to be relegated, to go back into the fight over 4th League Division games, to see to it that they get into zonals, play so hard, and then cross over into the regionals? Yeah, basically that is that. And then also leaving that there, remember we have, of course, we have a lot that is going down this very weekend, where Bet Power Big League returns. And with one game on board tomorrow, where, of course, with one of the biggest tomorrow, where we'll be seeing, of course, Onduparaka hosting in, there is Chigezi Homeboys. Remember, in the first round, Chigezi, of course, beat Onduparaka, where Chigezi Homeboys were home, and Onduparaka traveled there. Remember that game ended on a 1-0 there, on in favor over there is a Chigezi Homeboys. And this time around, Onduparaka is home, and Chigezi comes down here in Arua from western Uganda up to the northern part, the northern part. There is West Nile down here, the northern part of Uganda. The outskirts of northern, are the outskirts of those campus directions? I don't know. Okay. Chigezi Homeboys gets to travel down here in Arua to play. There is Onduparaka Football Club down in Greenlight, Ababet Greenlight Stadium tomorrow, Saturday at 4 p.m. By the way, to me, this is going to be a very tough fixture for Onduparaka. Chigezi Homeboys irikibaku tomorrow. If Onduparaka does not do itself very well, trust me, they will be beaten. Because one, Chigezi Homeboys, by the way, are okay. This is one side. To me, this is one side that plays one of the hardest footballs in Uganda. These guys are so good, and I think they are really fighting and looking closely to see to it that they cross to there is the biggest style football in Uganda. There is a StarTimes Uganda Premier League, but then I think they're also looking into maintaining themselves. I want to do a brief analysis based on the table standings. If you look at Onduparaka tomorrow, that of course will get to host Chigezi Homeboys. They sit in position number 9 with 23 points. Like Adalaron told you, the previous 2 games of Onduparaka, they lost. Yeah, they've so far played 4 games into the second round of there is a big league. The first 2 games they won. Yeah, they won the first 2 games. One was home, one was I think away against Chetume. They won. Home was against Chuyinda. They won. But then the third game they played actually home was against Black Spar. Black Spar beat them 1-0, where Dalian said in my introductory statements that Maduka came in with some late goals somewhere, and it ended 1-0, and we saw Ndupara losing out. We thought maybe they would pick up momentum as they traveled to go and play in Mbale up against Kataka. But Kataka also proved tough. Kataka beat them 2-1, yeah, with a lot of abnormalities that actually came through in there. So basically, that is that. They've so far played 4 games in the second round of Big League. Winning 2, losing out 2. So bad. So Ondupara for that gets to sit in position number 9 with 23 points after playing 17 games. And then Chigezi Homeboys sit in position number 10 after playing 18 games. So after also having 23 points, meaning tomorrow everyone is going to play out their hearts. Every other person that, okay, the 2 clubs will be looking to it that they get all the 3 points to see to it that they push to the next position. But then any other team tomorrow here that actually loses out to the opponent sinks to the red zone. Yeah, they get to sink to the red zone if they are not careful. Team news coming through from Ondupara tomorrow. Of course, I will be seeing Difuna missing out. The other time, Samson Sizo Kuti didn't travel. He asked for a few days off because he needed to concentrate, simply because he was also the gaffer behind there is Mvara Senior Secondary School in the post-primary ball games where we saw Mvara being the champion. So that was a very tense game, and Samson Sizo Kuti needed to be around, so he didn't travel with the team to there is Mbale. We saw his assistant, there is Ahmed Bowini, who actually traveled together with the team. Starting work and winning 2 games in office was quite a very huge and big one for him. So basically this time around we're going to be seeing Samson Sizo Kuti, and Difuna won't play because he got a red card during the last game that Ondupara had in there is Mbale. Yeah, he got a red card due to some okay, that aside, we'll keep that under the blankets. Yeah, but there are a lot of people out there that actually know what happened. So basically, Samson Sizo Kuti is around. Almost every other person is around for selection tomorrow. So basically, it will be the work of Ahmed Borini. Even Samson Sizo Kuti will be available for selection. Yeah, he's very excited after winning in a gong, a big one. Last year he lost. It was so hard. So this year he told himself he needed to come back bigger and better to see to it that this time around he beats Arua SS, the same school that that beat him last year. So Samson Sizo Kuti will also be available for selection. Adebrian will be around, and Junior will be around. We have a Boy Fazilino, we have a Jerieko, a lot. Adebrian, we have a lot of guys that will be available for selection. So it will be the work of Ahmed Borini and his support staff to see to it that who starts, who finishes. Bida Ezra will also be around. So basically that is that. For Chigezi Homeboys, we await their full lineup tomorrow. We'll bring it to you tomorrow before the kickoff of game, because tomorrow we'll be here 2 p.m. to 3 and our game is 4. So basically a lot of the news that will come through and in tomorrow's consequent show in there. Leaving that story aside, remember UPL also came through this very weekend. Games started on Thursday, where yesterday where we saw Maroons taking on Express at 4 p.m. in Luzira, and then KCCA played there is Busoga United at MTN Omondi. Before I look into the results of yesterday, today we'll be having games. The Friday 29th March, where Chitara will host Bull at Masindi Stadium, 4 p.m. I told you this is going to be a clash of titans, because the Chitara, they call themselves the Royals. Royals sit top of the table of UPL, and then they are followed closely by Bull, and then NEC, and then Vipers. I will bring to you the table standings as well. So basically, Chitara hosts Bull. And then we'll also have, with the same lineup, 4 p.m. we'll have Wachiso Giants playing there is NEC at Kawaka Chavagu Stadium in there. So these 2 games are going to be very tough, especially the Chitara Bull game. It's going to be a very tough one. If you look at Chitara's previous runs, they have been winning in games for fun. Whether they are visiting you, they are beating you in your own home. Whether you're coming to them, they are beating you at their own home. Recently, they humiliated, that is URA David Obua's side, I think 4 goals, yeah, 4 goals. And they scored the first 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of the game. First 5 minutes of kickoff time. So basically, trust me, it is very tough. It is very hard. Picking in a win, collecting all the 3 points against Royals down in Masindi. So a Bull gets to travel to there is a Masindi. It's going to be a very tough one for it's going to be a very tough one, of course, for Bull, by the way, as they get to go down to there is the home of Chitara. And Bull FC, by the way, team news, the duo Douglas Muganga and Matthew Odong Tayo have been ruled out of the squad ahead of today's game against Chitara. They are out due to medical reasons. And basically, somehow, Bull has, of course, been counting on these 2 duos that, of course, have been ruled out. So basically, this is going to be, also to me, this is going to be a very tough one, by the way, for there is a Bull Football Club. So basically, that is that. Chitara, Bull, to me, I am giving out all the odds to there is a Chitara, because these days they're good, they're on form financial-wise, they lack nothing, they have the 12-man squad. These people will morale boost on you, especially when you're in Masindi. Even if they travel, their fan base is very huge. They can even outmatch in numbers the home team if at all they travel. But this time around, Bull from east gets to cross to western to play there is Chitara. So basically, to me, I think I am giving out all the odds to Chitara. It's going to be a very tough one for Bull. The best for Bull in this game is going to be a draw. The best for Bull in Masindi against the Royals is going to be a draw. I don't even see Chitara accepting to share in spoils with Bull. But bringing in the table standings over there is StarTimes Uganda Premier League. Sitting on top of the table, we have Chitara, of course, with 43 points. Position number 2 is Bull with 39 points. That's why I told you this game is a clash of titans. Table leaders clash. This is an affair of the generals. It's a very huge one. So basically, if Chitara wins this game, to me, which I see is very possible, we'll see Chitara going to 46 points, because already they have 43. If you add 3, they cross to 46. And then if Bull wins this game, which I see is very hard, on a 39, Bull, of course, will get to 42 in there, basically closing in the point gap between them and the table leaders. There is a Chitara. So Bull sits in position number 2 with 39 points, and then in position number 3 we have NEC that has 37 points, and then in position number 4 we have Soccer Club Villa that have 36 points, and then Vipers sits in position number 5 with, of course, 35 points. And then Maroons, that actually won the game yesterday, sits in position number 6 with there is 31 points. And then URA, David Obua's side, sits in position number 7 with, of course, 31 points as well, same as Maroons. And then KCCA, that also won the game yesterday, sits in position number 8 with 29 points after playing 20 games. And then Express sits in position number 9 with 29 points, same as KCA. And then Barara City sits in position number 10 with 27 points. And then Bright Stars in position number 11 with 25 points. Ochiso Giants, position number 12 with 23 points. And then with 18 points, you have Gaddafi that sits in position number 13. And then Busoga United sits in position number 14 with 17 points. And then lastly, we have UPDF that sits in position number 15 with 16 points. A very big one in there. Yesterday's games, full time for KCCA, of course, was 4 goals to 1, where we saw in the play they had Mojong, they had Ogwango, Benchan, Magambo, Achai, Waswa, Saidi, Gui, Usama, Katenga, Nayela in subs. They had Mugolofa, they had Muwezi, Chiza Mustafa Atube, Bruno Lukwago, Mugume, Gabi Luasa Abu, and then Shaban. Shaban came in. They had a triple substitution where Peter Luasa, Ashraf Mugume, and Shaban Muhammad came in. There is the 70th minute where they replaced Etene Katenga, Gui, and Dominic Ayela. But then in here, they already had registered two very beautiful goals, yeah, two very beautiful goals. And then our full time ended, of course, 4-1 in favor of there is a case here. They beat Busoga there. And then for Maroons also won in their game there. They won 2-0 they beat there is their opponents. There is Express. This game yesterday was played in Luzira. On the score sheet, of course, we had there is our own Amaku that came with the first goal, which was cancelled, and then he proved the odds wrong and came through with the second goal, which counted. And then the third goal, it's also still a Maku that came through with the assist and assisted. There is Orom Chan, the allure. This time around for the prison warders, it was the West Nilers that took them into the winning side. Remember, Turude Abel, that also is from the son of the soil, didn't feature in, but then Amaku featured in down there. Of course, a very big one. Those were games that were played yesterday, and then today we have Chitara Bull, 4 p.m. in Masindi, and then Wachiso Giants Neck at, of course, there is Kabaka Chabangu Stadium. Very big games. And then tomorrow we'll have Villa play. There is Mbarara in Mutesa 2 Stadium, and then URA will play Vipers at MTN Omondi. These are games on Saturday, and then Sunday we'll have one game. Soltilo Bright Stars will, of course, play. There is a Gaddafi, 4 p.m. at Kavumba Recreational. That is that for, of course, there is Star Times Uganda Premier League fixtures and results over the games, of course, that went down yesterday, and some fixtures and a few analysis ahead of the games today, tomorrow, and Sunday. We are all seeing that match day closing up. We'll be boarding in a flight and crossing to international scenes. I would start with the Euros 2024 groupings. In Group A, we have Germany, we have Scotland, we have Hungary and Switzerland. And then in Group B, we have Spain, we have Croatia, Italy, and Albania. Group C, we have Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England. Yeah, England played a very decisive game the other day against Belgium, and they really needed to see, Gary Southgate needed to see that his side wins, man. If England didn't win, it was going to, no, they played a 2-2 against Belgium. We saw Kobe Mainoo, the dangerous youngster of Manchester United, coming through in his first debut and then scooping in the man of the match award. He, by the way, put up a very brilliant start. We equally saw the likes of the Chilwells, the likes of the Trossards and the rest, by the way, playing a very good game. Jude Bellingham made sure he came through into the score lines in the late dying minutes. Those are actually seconds, if you saw where the equalizer Jude Bellingham brought through for there is the England game. So they sit in Group D, in Group C rather, with Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England. And then in Group D, we have Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France. Group E has Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, and Ukraine. Group F has Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and Czech Republic. Check out which country you want to support this time around. And basically that, and they are, by the way, fixtures that will come through today, with, of course, one of the biggest, that is Arsenal. Arsenal has a very big fixture against there is a Manchester City. I don't know if it is, this is also a clash of titans. Yeah, Saturday, tomorrow, 30th March, we'll have Newcastle West Ham early kickoff, Bournemouth Everton, we'll have Chelsea Burnley, we'll have Nottingham Forest Crystal Palace, Sheffield United will play Fulham, Tottenham will play Luton, And then Aston Villa will play Wolves, and then at Manchester United, the team of course, my producer that is seeing to it that you guys get this news timely, very clear sound, clear everything. Your side is playing Brentford tomorrow. Bring here your predictions, Jonathan Opak. On Sunday, we'll be having 2 huge games. Okay, the one for Liverpool is not so huge. Liverpool will be playing Brighton. And then in the finishing, we'll be having Manchester City taking on Arsenal. We gave in a very huge analysis yesterday with my colleague. There is Owen in there. This one, I even don't want to discuss. The elephant, there is of course seated somewhere. I don't know what its fate of course tomorrow is going to be like, but it's going to be, of course, it's going to be a very big one for it's going to be a very big one for there is Arsenal. This is going to be a very tough one for Arsenal, by the way, to see to it that they beat Manchester City. Manchester City will equally be seeing to it that they don't lose out. They also want to be top of the table. They're looking into closing up, of course. They're looking into closing up between themselves and there is themselves and Arsenal. There, of course, sits top of the table up there. And of course, a very huge weekend that is coming up front. And of course, we'll be compiling a lot of games, by the way, a lot of games over this weekend with some of those fixtures. That is all I had for you over the weekend. And tomorrow will still be here, but then unless otherwise, if that does not happen, I will be wishing you a very happy Easter celebrations, early happy Easter celebrations. Remember to invite us for some of the Easter celebrations. Don't forget, from Whistle Time desk and from West Nile TV, wish you out there a very happy Easter celebrations, a very happy Easter weekend. And today, please go through and share in the passion over there is Jesus Christ. With that, a very big ups to, of course, everyone that followed through, everyone that is following, and fans of Onduparaka Football Club, especially the biggest. There is Lord Ben. You've always made noise on me. Susie, greet me. Susie, say hi. Okay. Lord Ben, Lord Ben, Lord Ben. Big ups today. I salute you. A very huge big ups from West Nile TV, Whistle Time desk. Susie says hi, Lord Ben. Good afternoon. A happy weekend.